Good evening. This is All India Radio. I'm Tanvi Taneja and with me is Nishit Kumar with the evening news. The headlines. India sets a record of conducting nearly 9 lakh COVID tests in a single day. More than 19 lakh recovered in the country so far. Supreme Court refuses to direct transfer of money from PM CARES Fund to the National Disaster Response Fund. Exports of agricultural commodities increased by over 23% during March to June this year. 66 lakh self-help groups covering over 7 crore rural women created under National Rural Livelihood Mission, says Rural Development Minister Narendra Tomar. And Hockey India announces financial assistance of 10,000 rupees to 61 unemployed players amid the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic. The country registered the highest number of recoveries from COVID-19 in a single day. Nearly 58,000 people in the country got cured and returned to their homes in the last 24 hours. With this, the cumulative recoveries from COVID-19 in the country has reached close to the 20 lakh mark. So far, a total of 19,77,779 people have recovered in the country, and with this, the nationwide recovery rate has further improved to 73.18%. Addressing a media briefing, Union Health Secretary Rajesh Bhushan informed that the case fatality rate in the country continues to show steady decline and now stands at 1.92%. He said 30 states and union territories in the country have lower fatality rate than the national average. He said the active cases are only 24.91% of the total positive cases. This figure is also exhibiting a steady downward trajectory.
जो रिकवर्ड पेशेंट्स हैं वो 19,70,000 हो गए हैं और कुल एक्टिव केसेस के लगभग 3 गुना रिकवर्ड केसेस हो गए हैं। अगर कोविड का कुल संख्या देखें उसके मात्र 25% केस ही ऐसे हैं जो एक्टिव केसेस हैं।
Mr. Bhushan informed that around 55,000 new cases of COVID-19 have been registered in the country in the last 24 hours, taking the total number of cases to 27,02,743. Presently, the total number of active corona cases in the country is 6,73,166. In a single day, 876 deaths have also been reported, taking the toll to 51,797. Head of one of the empowered group on COVID response, Dr. V.K. Paul informed that India is working on 3 different vaccines for COVID-19.
3 वैक्सीन हमारे देश में विकसित हो रहे हैं, डिफरेंट स्टेजेस पे हैं। उनमें से एक वैक्सीन वो फेज 3 ट्रायल में आज या कल में पहुंच जाएगा। बाकी 2 फेज 1 फेज 2 में हैं, उनकी हमने रिव्यू किया है और उसमें अच्छी प्रोग्रेस हो रही है और वो अपनी स्पीड से आगे ठीक तरह से बढ़ रहे हैं। हम ये कह सकते हैं कि ये तीनों वैक्सीन अपने तरीके से उनकी डेवलपमेंट एक रीएश्योरिंग तरीके से हो रही है।
Mr. Paul said government is also working along with private partners on developing a robust supply chain in the country for large-scale vaccinations after a vaccine is given the final go-ahead. India is continuously stepping up its COVID testing capacity. In the last 24 hours, the country moved closer to testing 1 million samples in a day. With a record testing of nearly 9 lakh samples in a day, the nation achieved another milestone today. Health Secretary Rajesh Bhushan, addressing a media briefing in New Delhi, informed that the remarkable feat has been achieved by rigorously following the test, track and treat strategy. He said that the strong resolve and determination of the union government, along with state and union territory administration, resulted in rapid increase in the number of tests done per day. With 8,99,864 testings yesterday, the cumulative COVID sample tests done so far in the country has further risen to 3,09,41,264. Mr. Bhushan said that despite manifold increase in testing, the positivity rate has witnessed a steady decline. The positivity rate now stands at 7.72%. The Health Secretary said that the strong determinant of this milestone has been a sustained expansion of testing labs across the country. From merely 1 lab in January this year, the country today has 1,476 labs. Out of these, 971 are government, while the remaining 505 are private labs. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has urged every citizen to take necessary precaution in the monsoon season due to the prevailing COVID pandemic. He said, "This is the season of tropical and vector-borne diseases and therefore precautions are necessary." Mr. Modi informed that the government is also closely monitoring the situation and ensuring care to those affected. In the wake of continuous rise in COVID-19 cases, Punjab government has imposed additional restrictions within municipal limits of all the cities of Punjab from today till further orders. An official spokesperson informed that the movement of individuals for all the non-essential activities shall remain prohibited between 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. within municipal limits. He said that restaurants, hotels and other hospitality units would remain open till 8:30 p.m. Apart from this, shops and shopping malls would remain open till 8 p.m.
In view of rising number of COVID cases in Meghalaya, District Administration of East Khasi Hills today began random antigen testing in Police Bazaar and Yoda Market. Deputy Commissioner M. Var Nongbare said that authorities are targeting to conduct over 500 tests today. Meanwhile, Directorate of Health Services informed that 36 new COVID-19 cases were detected today. With this, the total number of active cases in the state stands at 765. 4 COVID-19 patients also recovered today, taking the total number of recoveries to 683.
In Andaman and Nicobar Islands, the current lockdown outside containment zones has been extended to the midnight of 25th of August. However, shops providing essential items and services will remain functional in South and North and Middle Andaman. In Nicobar district, a written permission from the concerned Assistant Commissioner is required to open essential services shops. The government offices will remain closed except those related to essential services. The transport services in Port Blair and Fedarganj in South Andaman have also been suspended till 25th of August. The current lockdown was ending midnight tonight.
In Maharashtra, Solapur-based social activist Ganesh Vilas Langare has been awarded the Star 2020 certificate by the World Book of Records, London. The organization, founded in 2017, honors personalities for their outstanding contribution towards humanity and universal peace. A report.
Recognizing his efforts to help the needy during the coronavirus-induced lockdown, Ganesh Lengade has been awarded the Star 2020 e-citation certificate. Out of the 21 schemes that were launched by him to assist the people, the most important was the COVID patient contact tracing scheme that was implemented with the help of Solapur district authorities. Understanding the need for spreading awareness regarding maintaining hand hygiene, wearing masks and following social distancing, Mr. Lengade organized various online contests and produced educational videos. Besides providing masks and water bottles to migrant laborers who were using the Solapur-Pune highway to reach their hometowns in neighboring states, Mr. Lengade also arranged for free distribution of grocery and vegetables for the poor. The social activist thus spread a spirit of hope and positivity during the testing times of COVID-19 pandemic, as is correctly stated in his citation. With Mahesh Pandre from Solapur, this is Nisha Rani for AIR News, Mumbai.
Kerala confirmed 1,758 new active cases of COVID-19 today, while 1,365 patients under treatment have recovered from the disease. 6 COVID-related deaths were also confirmed in the state today, taking the death toll to 175. The total active cases rose to 16,724 in the state.
In our series Experts Speak on All India Radio, we bring you views of leading medical experts on COVID-19. Dr. S. Rajeshwari, Department of Anesthesiology, AIIMS has advised people to stay at home and maintain hand hygiene.
We have seen that there is a severe shortage of ICU facilities in the most developed of countries. And in order that we do not face the same calamity in our country, it is vital that we do not stress the health system by becoming more sick and bringing more patients. And for this, I urge that you must stay at home and must maintain hand hygiene to reduce the number of patients coming into the hospital.
Dr. Purva Mathur, Professor Lab Medicine's AIIMS, has said that physical distancing is very important to check the spread of the virus.
Coronavirus spreads by droplets when a person coughs or sneezes. These droplets do not travel beyond 1 meter, and that is why it's important to maintain social distancing.
The Supreme Court today refused to direct the transfer of money collected under the PM CARES Fund set up for COVID-19 relief to the National Disaster Response Fund (NDRF). A bench of Justices Ashok Bhushan, R. Subhash Reddy and M. R. Shah also held that contributions to the PM CARES Fund were funds given to a charitable trust. The court said that there was no statutory prohibition on contributions made to the NDRF. The bench further clarified that funds collected under the PM CARES Fund are entirely different from the NDRF. On the petitioner's prayer to set up a national plan for COVID-19, the Apex Court held that the plan prepared by the centre is sufficient to cater to the pandemic.
Senior BJP leader and Central Minister Ravi Shankar Prasad took a jibe at the opposition today and said that the Supreme Court judgment pertaining to the PM CARES Fund has cleared the air regarding the issue. He said all the donations to PM CARES Fund is done in a transparent manner. Mr. Prasad informed that so far, out of the total of 3,100 crore rupees voluntary donation received in the PM CARES Fund, 2,000 crore rupees have been spent to purchase 50,000 ventilators in the country. These ventilators are used to take care of the emergency needs of the COVID patients. He said 1,000 crore rupees from the fund have been given to states and union territories to take care of the migrant labourers. The minister also informed that 100 crore rupees from the PM CARES Fund have also been given for the development of COVID vaccine. Senior BJP leader and Central Minister Prakash Javadekar has hailed the Supreme Court's judgment on PM CARES Fund. He said truth has triumphed while falsehood has been defeated. Mr. Javadekar said people of the country voluntarily donated money as per their ability to the fund in order to strengthen country's fight against the highly infectious virus. Taking a dig at the opposition, he said the smear campaign of the Congress party against the PM CARES Fund, a public registered trust, exposes their character and is an insult to the general public at large.
Exports of agricultural commodities during March to June this year has increased by 23.24% compared to the corresponding period in 2019. The Agriculture Ministry said even during pandemic lockdown, India took care not to disturb the world food supply chain and continued to export. The exports of agri-commodities during March to June were over 25,552 crore rupees against an export of over 20,734 crores during the same period in 2019. The agricultural exports as a percentage of India's agricultural GDP has increased from 9.4% in 2017-18 to 9.9% in 2018-19. Self-reliant agriculture is critical for attaining the goal of an Atmanirbhar Bharat. Exports have also resulted in increased production in agriculture sector by increasing area coverage and productivity.
Minority Affairs Minister Mukhtar Abbas Naqvi today said that government has given a conducive atmosphere for the promotion and protection of capabilities of youth from minority communities. He said the atmosphere of inclusive empowerment has ensured that a large number of youth from the minority communities are being selected in the top administrative services. This year also, 145 people belonging to minority communities have been selected in the civil services. The minister said government's efforts for promotion and progress of meritorious youth from minority communities have resulted in selection of 22 youth from poor and deprived sections of minority communities in the civil services. Electronics and IT Minister Ravi Shankar Prasad today launched Swadeshi Microprocessor Challenge Innovate Solutions for Atmanirbhar Bharat. IIT Madras and Center for Development of Advanced Computing have developed two microprocessors named Shakti 32-bit and Vega 64-bit respectively using open source architecture. The Swadeshi Microprocessor Challenge seeks to invite innovators, startups and students to use these microprocessors to develop various technology products.
Steel Minister Dharmendra Pradhan has appealed to the steel industry leaders to partner with the government in providing low-cost housing for migrant labourers. Mr. Pradhan said this while addressing a webinar on Atmanirbhar Bharat, fostering steel usage in housing and construction sector in New Delhi today. He referred to the Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs scheme and called upon public sector undertakings, PSUs and steel industry leaders to partner with the government in the project. He said the government has set a target of providing 1 lakh such houses, but the industry should build many more steel-intensive low-cost houses which will be model for others to emulate. Minister for Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises, MSME, Nitin Gadkari today said that the target of the government is to make India a manufacturing hub of construction equipments in the world. Addressing a function in New Delhi, Mr. Gadkari said to achieve the objective of self-reliance, imports should be reduced and manufacturing of various components be given a boost. He appealed to all the industries in the sector to develop industrial clusters, technology clusters, research labs and upgradation of technology and skills. He also exhorted the participants to face the challenges of issues thrown up by COVID-19 pandemic.
You are listening to the evening news on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. India sets record of conducting nearly 9 lakh COVID tests in a single day. More than 19 lakh recovered in the country so far. Supreme Court refuses to direct transfer of money from PM CARES Fund to the National Disaster Response Fund. Exports of agricultural commodities increased by over 23% during March to June this year. 66 lakh self-help groups covering over 7 crore rural women created under the National Rural Livelihood Mission, says Rural Development Minister Narendra Tomar. Hockey India announces financial assistance of Rs 10,000 to 61 unemployed players amid the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts.
The government today said that Deen Dayal Antyodaya Yojana, National Rural Livelihoods Mission, has facilitated the creation of 66 lakh self-help groups in the country covering over 7 crore rural women. Rural Development Minister Narendra Singh Tomar said this while addressing state rural livelihoods missions across the country through video conferencing. He said the emphasis should be given to promote livelihoods through a convergence approach to enhance their incomes. He said Deen Dayal Antyodaya Yojana has been supporting women-led and managed enterprises in farm and non-farm sectors. The mission has supported 169 producers' enterprises that have supported over 278,000 women farmers. Speaking on the occasion, Food Processing Industries Minister Harsimrat Kaur Badal said that food processing will play an important role in increasing the income of farmers. She highlighted the importance of processing and value addition of food products to enhance income and reduce the wastage of primary agriculture and horticulture produce. Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu today said innovation should become people's movement. Speaking at the ceremony of announcing the results of Atal Ranking of Institutions on Innovation Achievements 2020, Mr. Naidu said there should be concerted efforts to inculcate the culture of innovation and entrepreneurship among students to make them out-of-the-box thinkers.
We have to tap into the highly talented youth population, which is brimming with new ideas, a passion for experimentation, and willingness to forge a new path. It is these young people studying many of our colleges and universities who will define what our country's future will be. It is these youth that need encouragement, felicitation, and recognition. They must be given the guidance and freedom to explore new frontiers. Proper guidance is the need of the hour.
Indian Institute of Technology, IIT Madras, has retained its #1 position in the list of top innovative educational institutes in India for the second consecutive year. The premier institute has been ranked #1 in the Atal Ranking of Institutions on Innovation Achievements released by Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu in the presence of Union Minister of Education Ramesh Pokhriyal Nishank in a virtual event today. State Bank of India, SBI, has waived off SMS charges in addition to its penalty waiver on non-maintenance of minimum balance for all its saving accounts. SBI has over 44 crore saving accounts. The public sector bank informed that the waiver of such charges is applicable for all kinds of saving accounts, including those with cheque or internet banking facilities. Earlier, SBI customers had to maintain an average monthly balance of 3,000, 2,000 and 1,000 rupees in metro, semi-urban and rural areas respectively. The bank used to levy a penalty of 5 to 15 rupees plus taxes on non-maintenance of average monthly balance. The bank had announced in the month of March this year that the minimum balance charges will be waived off for all its saving account customers.
The Southern Railway has clarified that as per an amendment made in 2016, 20% of posts at Level 1 has been reserved for those who have successfully completed their apprenticeship. However, it has also been made clear that employment in railways is not guaranteed on completion of apprenticeship. The clarification came against the background of demands for employment made by those who have completed apprenticeships in various railway institutions and workshops. Election Commissioner Ashok Lavasa today resigned from his post to join the Philippines-based Asian Development Bank ADB as Vice President next month. Mr. Lavasa has submitted his resignation to President Ramnath Kovind and has requested to be relieved by the end of this month. Last month, the ADB had announced his appointment to the post. In Madhya Pradesh, Chief Minister Shivraj Singh Chauhan said necessary legal provisions will be made to provide government jobs to local people. He also said resources of the state are meant for residents of the state. Our correspondent has filed this report.
The Chief Minister said in a video statement that resources of Madhya Pradesh are meant for the children of the state.
आज मध्य प्रदेश सरकार ने एक महत्वपूर्ण फैसला किया है। मध्य प्रदेश की शासकीय नौकरियां अब केवल मध्य प्रदेश के बच्चों को दी जाएगी। इसके लिए हम आवश्यक कानूनी प्रावधान कर रहे हैं।
In his Independence Day speech, Chief Minister had said that preference would be given to locals in government jobs. He had also said that the government will devise a mechanism to ensure employment to youths on the basis of their mark sheet of class 10th and 12th. Earlier, the previous Kamalnath-led Congress government had also announced to reserve 70% of jobs in industrial units for locals. Sanjeev Sharma, AIR News, Bhopal.
The solar-powered evaporative cooled fruits and vegetable vending van developed by the Bengaluru-based Indian Institute of Horticulture Research has found interest among the farmer producers organizations, FPOs, since Prime Minister Narendra Modi launched a 1 lakh crore agriculture infrastructure fund to boost investment in the farm sector, especially in cold storage, warehousing and markets for farmers. More from our correspondent.
The solar-powered fruits and vegetable vending van is designed to keep produce fresh for 2 days using the evaporating cooling technology with solar power. This also provides a dust-free and hygienic storage space. The van has a LED TV for displaying prices of produce and an audio system for announcements. Fitted with GPS, the movement of the van can be tracked remotely. The director of the Research Institute, Dr. M.R. Dinesh, spoke to AIR on the features of the van.
Van has got the solar panel on top for the misting purpose, and the humidity box which have been designed by us for keeping the leafy vegetables can be kept inside. Apart from that, crates are also there which can be used for keeping the fruits and vegetables. Total cost of the van along with the interiors of designing everything is around 11 to 12 lakh rupees.
The van is well suited to be used during the pandemic. An electronic weighing machine with computerized billing facility ensures that there is no social contact and customers get fresh produce at right price and quantity. Sudhindra, AIR News, Bengaluru.
Hockey India, HI, today announced that it will provide 61 unemployed players, including 34 women, with financial assistance amid the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic. Athletes not holding employment are facing constraints due to the pandemic, impacting them adversely. Under the initiative, each player will be provided with a sum of 10,000 rupees to help them return to sporting activities. Hockey India officiating president Gyanendra Ningombam said the objective of the initiative is to provide basic financial relief to the athletes.
Fantasy gaming platform Dream11 has won the IPL title sponsorship rights with a bid of 222 crore rupees. IPL chairman Brijesh Patel has informed that the deal will be valid for 4.5 months, ending December 2020. Dream11 will replace Vivo after the Chinese mobile phone maker suspended its deal owing to a border standoff between India and China. The company, however, had been under the BCCI scanner after it was linked to the fake T20 league held in Punjab but was live streamed as a game in Sri Lanka. IPL 2020 starts on 19th September in the UAE. Benchmark domestic stocks today gained around 1.25% amid positive global cues. A report.
The Sensex gained 478 points and ended 1.26% higher at 38,528. Similarly, the NSE Nifty surged 138 points or 1.23% to end at 11,385. The rupee settled 12 paise higher at 74 rupees and 76 paise against the US dollar. Gold prices jumped 1182 rupees to 54,856 rupees per 10 grams in the national capital following a rally in the international prices of the yellow metal. Silver was also in heavy demand as it zoomed 1,587 rupees to 72,547 rupees per kilogram. V. Ravi Kumar for AIR News.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi has invited ideas and suggestions for his Mann Ki Baat program to be aired on 30th of August. In a tweet, Mr. Modi said he is looking forward to ideas on what should be discussed in this month's Mann Ki Baat. People can record their message by dialing 1800-11-7800. They can also write on the Namo app or MyGov.
Foreign Secretary of India Harsh Vardhan Shringla today arrived in Dhaka on a two-day official visit to Bangladesh. According to a press release issued by the High Commission of India in Dhaka, Foreign Secretary Shringla will hold a bilateral meeting with his Bangladeshi counterpart Masood bin Momen tomorrow. The Bangladesh Foreign Secretary Masood bin Momen said he was expecting to discuss various bilateral issues, particularly regarding COVID-19 situation and prospective cooperation over access to coronavirus vaccine, reports the official news agency BSF. This is the second visit of Harsh Vardhan Shringla to Bangladesh this year after taking over as the Foreign Secretary of India. In Uttar Pradesh, hundreds of villages across 16 districts in Tarai and eastern parts of the state are reeling under flood, causing damage to life and property. Rains and water coming from the upper hilly areas in Nepal have caused floods in various parts in the state. More from our correspondent.
According to State Relief Commissioner Office, 838 villages of 16 districts are affected by flood. Out of these, 520 villages are inundated. State Relief Commissioner Sanjay Goel told that as of now, 14 people have lost their life due to flood-related reasons. The districts hit by natural calamity are Ambedkar Nagar, Ayodhya, Azamgarh, Bahraich, Balia, Barabanki, Vasti, Badaयूं, Devariya, Gonda, Gorakhpur, Lakhimpur Kheri, Kushinagar, Mau, Sant Kabir Nagar and Sitapur. Many rivers including Sarda, Ghagra and Saryu are flowing above the danger marks at several places in Lakhimpur Kheri, Barabanki, Ayodhya and Balia districts. Total 22 teams of NDRF and SDRF including 7 PSC companies have been put on duty for relief work. MS Yadav, AIR News, Lucknow.
Now let us take a look at the weather forecast for tomorrow. National capital Delhi will have generally cloudy sky with heavy rain. It will have a minimum temperature of around 27 degrees Celsius and maximum of 33 degrees. Mumbai will experience generally cloudy sky with moderate rain. Minimum temperature in Mumbai will be 21 degrees Celsius and the maximum will be around 30 degrees. Chennai will have generally cloudy sky with light rain or drizzle. The temperature will hover between 27 and 33 degrees Celsius. Kolkata will witness generally cloudy sky with a few spells of rain or thunder showers. The minimum temperature in the metropolis will be around 25 degrees Celsius while the maximum will be 31 degrees. On to the north. In the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir, the minimum temperature will be 26 degrees in Jammu, while the maximum will be around 33 degrees. The city will have generally cloudy sky with moderate rain. In Srinagar, the minimum temperature will be around 20 degrees, while the maximum will be 33 degrees. The city will have partly cloudy sky, becoming generally cloudy towards afternoon or evening. Ladakh will have mainly clear sky, becoming partly cloudy towards afternoon or evening. The temperature will hover between 20 and 33 degrees Celsius. In Gilgit, the temperature will hover between 20 and 38 degrees Celsius. It will have partly cloudy sky with possibility of rain or thunderstorm. In Muzaffarabad, there will be thunderstorm with rain. The temperature will hover between 22 and 35 degrees Celsius. In Dehradun, the temperature will hover between 25 and 30 degrees Celsius. The city will have generally cloudy sky with few spells of rain or thunder showers. In Hyderabad, the minimum temperature will be 23 degrees Celsius while the maximum will be around 30 degrees. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. India sets a record of conducting nearly 9 lakh COVID tests in a single day. More than 19 lakh recovered in the country so far. Supreme Court refuses to direct transfer of money from PM CARES Fund to the National Disaster Response Fund. Exports of agricultural commodities increased by over 23% during March to June this year. 66 lakh self-help groups covering over 7 crore rural women created under National Rural Livelihood Mission, says Rural Development Minister Narendra Tomar. And Hockey India announces financial assistance of 10,000 rupees to 61 unemployed players amid the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic. And with that, we end the evening news. Good night.